Okay, the last 30 odd line, just less than fewer than 30 to take us just past halfway in the set line. So this one is just one last translation guide, because as I keep saying, the key to everything is having a good knowledge of the translation. It's not a scene translation or scene assessment as such, but just the greater grasp you have of the translation and how the Latin works, the better you're going to do in just everything else. So what it's about is quite straightforward. So Aeneas sees Helen, he's reminded of his own family, catches sight of her and debates whether he should kill her. So, but then at and tum. For the first time, that can be firstly, but just, yeah. So first, in this case, for the first time sounds best. A fierce terror, a siwus oro. A fierce terror, literally besieged. That's like surrounded, gripped. I really should say surround, to be honest, shouldn't I? Me. Obstipui, I was astounded. The mental picture, so imago, just like the image, of my dear father. Two genitives, second declension, third declension, cardi genitoris, came to mind, literally came, went under, but came to mind is what it can mean here. As I saw a king, ut, indicative ut. So you're looking for a subjunctive, but that is not there. So it's just the verb is weedy. As I saw a king object, iwum. So any words with a, e, v, I got to do with age, and equal would be equal. So so the adjective would be quai wus So a king of the same age, of equal age, literally, with a cruel wound. So two third declensions. One is is-e, one is is-e-e. So one's a noun and one is an adjective. So with a cruel wound, his life expiring. So this is what I also saw. So I saw another object, vitam, his life, exhalantem, like he's breathing his last, exhaling his last breath. And so now, yeah, that's the end of that sentence, and we go to another subit. So creosa here is nominative. So creusa occurred to me. So this is it's like came to mind. Yeah. So forsaken. So having been deserted. Creusa occurred to me. Also came to mind. Should I just say came to mind? I think I should, seeing that I said it before. Yeah, so just more consistent. Came to mind, and both. So, oh yeah, it just says both and. So just add the and there, but this et means both. The direpta domus. So domus is feminine, remember? So direpta literally means having been, it's like saying having been rapta, having been snatched away. So it's like things have been taken. So plundered, yeah, makes sense. The plundered home and the misfortune, the cursus. So vocab 24 in the OLC, don't get cursus, chorus, and cursus mixed up, as a lot of people tend to do. So in the misfortune of little Euless, pawi, genitive, iuli. So just as a reminder, it says in scansion file, that is 3 syllables. Scrolling down in English. I look back, respicio, and I survey the forces, et, lustro, I survey, the copia, the forces. Really should be copias, but it's just, I guess, yeah, it's just forces. All right. Quai. Now, oh, hang on, copia. It's why is it neuter? Oh no, it can be feminine. So I'll just write forces, and I'll write what would more naturally or more yeah, just what you're used to. What would usually be copias? So I'll just so that's yeah, copias. The forces, now relative pronoun relates to the feminine or the, or could be neuter actually, because they're the same form, qui, quai, quai, quos, quas, quai, which quai, were, literally maybe, sit. And why is that sit? Ugh, hang on, which, now the force, could it be a force? Like usually copia in the singular, actually it could be singular as well. I'm used to the word meaning abundance or plentiness in the singular, but it could be just forces. Okay, so I don't want to look it up, but I'll, yeah, just deal with it later. But maybe is definitely singular, but yeah, so it looks like copia would be singular, which may be curcum may. So yeah, here we have irregular word order for, you know, scansion purposes and for rhythm. So it really would be curcum may, curcum plus the accusative, which are around me. Omnes, all. Deserted, historic infinitive. So it should be deseruerunt, just the word for I desert. All deserted me because they were defesi. So just a stronger, it's agreeing with omnes, just a stronger form of fesi. So usually means not just tired, but weary. Et, and they fell. They fell. Oh, literally sell to. So like the word somersault in a way. So with a leap, so fourth declension, ablative singular, with a leap, ad terram, towards the earth, or ought, or out, or they gave, would be dederunt, their pitifully sick bodies. So this is the object of dederunt, their bodies. Misere is a adverb form of miser, so they're wretchedly, so they're pitifully, you could say. Aigra is neuter plural accusative agreeing with bodies, so sick. Ignibus, to the fires. Iamque, and now, iam plus que. Adeo, indeed. I alone. So I is the eram. Oh, hang on. No. This is an example of what's called Tmesis, Tmesis. It says in the scansion file in the middle of your blue book. So it's super eram. So super still means to survive. So literally, I am over and above. But the splitting of that word is called Tmesis, if it's of any significance. So one person, I as one person, so you can just say I alone, remained. So the imperfect of super sum. When protecting Vesta's portal, cum. Why is that? I'm not quite sure why that is accusative. But it's when protecting the limina, the threshold, you can say the portal, Vestae, of Vesta, and silently lying hidden, et two PAPs, latentem, Oh, it must be not. It must be Helen lying there, not him. Oh yeah, but sorry, I was a bit ambiguous with the word order, but yeah, so he has to catch sight of someone doing this. So lying hidden, we get the word latent from there. So a latent supporter base of a team is, say, for example, the team has a lot of people who loosely follow them, but they don't, say, for example, sign up as members. So silently lying hidden in secreta sede. So in the private seat or shrine, takitam, silently. Oh, and it has to be, yeah, it has to be Helen because takitam is feminine. You cannot tell with so one tem and laten tem because their third declension and masculine feminine forms are the same. But it's clear from takitam that it has to be Helen he's talking about. And just logically, it makes sense as well. So I caught sight of Helen. Where am I here in the Latin? Aspicio, I caught sight of, I looked at. Tindarida, so I've mentioned that in the lit text lecture. Helen, just another word for Helen. The fires gave bright light. The incendia, so we get the word incendiary from there. So when, say, for example, German bombers dropped incendiary bombs on London in World War II, they're not just bombs which blew up, they're bombs which set things on fire. So fires, dant, they gave a claram, a bright object, lucem, light, to me, this is dative PAP, to a wandering me, so ero, errare as a PAP. To me, wandering, and to me, and also to me, moving my eyes over all things here and there. So ferenti, literally bearing. So you can say just moving, my oculos over all things, per cuncta, literally through all things. Cunctus is a word for all. Now this must mean, passive quae must mean here and there. I'll scroll down on the Latin here. Illa. Who is Illa? Clearly, if you know, if you just read through a text several times, it's quite apparent that it's Helen. Sometimes there are good context questions like who is Illa, and yeah, you just got to know the generally know the translation. So it's Helen. Fearing, right? So fearing, fearing Trojans aggressive to her. Yeah, it's all the way down here. Primetuen. So again, we've had metuo is I fear. Primetuo is just a stronger form of that. So fearing, PAP. Trojans, tukros, aggressive to her. Infestos, sibi. So aggressive to her. On account of Pergama, ob plus the accusative, ob Pergama, on account of Pergama having been ruined, a versa. So literally, ewerto, having been turned out, overturned, ruined. And also on account of, so poenam danaorum, the punishment of the Greeks and a deserted husband's anger, literally angers. And this is all governed by ob, by the way, so ob plus the accusative, the angers, literally. And we had this this combination before. So genitive second declension, genitive third declension, conjuncts, conjugis. So we get, so say for example, conjugal rights, it's a Masterman's word. Rights related to marriage. So of a deserted husband. And she's like Erinis, a fury. So a cause of destruction is what it's trying to say. shared by all, Troiae, all of Troy, and of her native land. So that is also she, fearing this. Oh, and then it returns to the main clause. So what had she, so this is governed by illa, the next verb, abdiderat, she had hidden. Say is just a stronger form of say. So when you see it say, it means the same as when you see it say. Had hidden herself and sat atque sedebat, a detested woman in vis a, so the woman bit is the feminine a, by the altars. So that would be just some sort of ablative preposition. Yeah, so without the preposition. So just an understood one. So now Aeneas, I was about to say Quintus, by the way, but yeah, don't get those two mixed up. So Aeneas debating whether to kill her or not. So fires blazed up. Ignace, we have another historic infinitive, which would be exarcerunt, just a stronger form of ardeo, ardere, arsi. Blazed up, figuratively, animo. You could say ex animo, ab animo, from my heart. Ira, anger, comes to mind. We've got the word subit again. To avenge my falling fatherland. Ulkiski, deponent, present active infinitive, just to do some ANS. To avenge, ulkisko, ulkiski. So just remember that third conjugation deponent verbs. It should be, if it were normal, it would be o ere, then it becomes o eri. So that you change that last E to an I. But you, with third and mixed infinitives, deponents, you ditch the ER. So ulkis, it's just ulkiski. To avenge my falling fatherland, my PAP, cadentem, cado cadere, my falling patriam, and to exact wicked punishment. So the et is joining two infinitives, and sumere, to literally take up. But yeah, here exact would be, when you talk about punishment, it would be exact. Sceleritas. So scelus sceleris is a crime. There's also scelestus, but it seems that sceleritus is also a form it can be too. It's just a variation on the word. So to exact wicked poenas, punishments. Skilicet, no doubt. And we have a bunch of future tenses. Will hike, will this understood woman, so hic, hike, hoc. Aspici am ace et. Look at, and she is incolumis, that's also nominative, well, it's masculine, feminine, but here it has to be feminine because we got Helen. Unharmed, look at a couple of objects, Spartam, Sparta. Que, my sinai, which is accused with plural, her patrias, her native lands. Que, ibit, will she go? It's a question. Will she go regina? You can say, will the queen go, but will she go as a queen with a triumph having been procured? So triumpho, ablative absolute, parto. So I think that's a par, it's the word to take possession of. It's a pario, and then the fourth PP is partus Que, and we debit, a third future tense, will she see her conjugium, her husband, just a variation of, it's not, I don't think it is conjunx, conjugis, because it's but it's just a very similar looking word, but different. Her husband, que, the home of father, her father's home, que, and natos, literally having been born people, her children. Accompanied by a crowd, so comitata, so that's comitata, because it's feminine singular, because it's she having been accompanied. So it's like people as comes, comitis, commes comitis for her. So accompanying her, being comrades for her. So having been accompanied, turba. Now that would be long, but I think it's elided because it's got the et after it. So by a crowd of Trojan women and Phrygian servants. So of Trojan. Now I'm not sure where the word women comes from. Is it understood, or is Ilia, can that word only be women? I'm not sure, but Trojan women in this, that's what the poetry and translation said. And so that's genitive plural, and this is hang on, what is going on here? Phrygian servants. And now I don't think it's a bit confusing, but yeah, just the best translation to say of. Oh, I see. Okay, it's a crowd of Trojan women, but not a crowd of Phrygian servants. So this has to be ablative, like the crowd, not like Iliadum. So, and accompanied by Phrygian ministries, which just means our servants or attendants. So I'll just keep scrolling down. There should be a gap between this, by the way. So I'll just put that in now. It's just a bit disconcerting. And I'll just do this. Add space after paragraph. Yeah, it's better. Okay. Right. So I'll just go over a bit. By crowd of Phrygian servants. So nearly there with the English and Latin, and I'll just go down. This will take us to the, it's 597. Yeah, so nearly there. Okay, there we go. And yeah, so will these things happen to Helen? If I kill her? No, they won't. So if I exact revenge. Will Priam, so Priamus. Now this is future perfect. Will he have died by the sword? Will Troy have burned with or for fire by then? So will Troya Aseret, will it have burned? Yeah, like for fire, with fire. Like you don't have to say something burns with fire. I think it's understood. So igni is a little redundant in the English translation. Will the Dardanian shore? So sudarit is just a shortened form of its future perfect sudar, where it. So litus is neuter, the declension. So it's not Dardanius, not Dardania, it's Dardanium. So will the Dardanian shore have been drenched so often, totien? So you remember coming across that word as one of the T words in your mama clauses, with blood. Sanguine. I've spoken about sanguine before. Here again, it's more than a few times I've seen it positioned as the fifth foot dactyl. So yeah, so just another reminder that the UI is not a diphthong, that's a V, and it's sung, long, we, the I is short, and that E is short because it's third declension. Is, E, E. Not so very, no. So I think what he might be saying here, it's might, so if I kill her, will these good things happen to Helen? No. If I kill her as well, will these bad things happen to Troy, or will they have happened? No as well. So that's what that sort of means. Namque, and for Etsy, although there is no remarkable fame, est, there is, nullum, like memorable, remarkable, literally name, but it's a fame, in a woman's punishment. In, now feminea must be ablative, and poina, hang on, is it in, it can't be, is it, I think it has to be ablative. Well, that wouldn't scan anyway because it's elided. And yes, femine would be, I can see that being a, oh no, that would be a lighter as well. Yeah, so yeah, you don't have to worry about the scansion. So in a woman's punishment, so femineus is of a woman, so femineus in a woman's punishment, or like it's what it means is punishment to a woman. This victory has praise. So haik Victoria, it really would be hus ha hum, but you should not tick high cock, so it would be ha Victoria, but it's not. Habet Lord laudem. So laus laudis is the word for praise. The noun is in I give praise. Yeah, so he sees the merit in killing her. Nevertheless, tamen, don't get it mixed up with at last tandem, to have extinguished, perfect active infinitive. And yeah, that's where we get the word extinguish from, extinct. So an extinct animal is literally one that is put out, like a fire is put out. To have extinguished nefas, wickedness, indeclinable noun, opposite of fas nefas, right and wrong, good and evil. Wickedness in the form of Helen, as I said, and to have exacted deserving punishment, or it says punishments, and sumpsise. Again, in relation to punishment, it would sound better as to exact rather than its usual take on or put on, take up, consume. Deserving punishments. Now, this would more regularly be merentes. It's PAP, to agree poenas. I will be praised. Laudabor. Future passive, first person singular. Future passive, indicative. And it will delight me. So impersonal verb, you are bit. It will delight me, understood. Now, expresse is short. So that's, yep, we're down to this. We're nearly there. And I might as well scroll up here. So 589. Is it right? Wait, I've got the right line here. 588. Oh, yeah, 587. So it ends at 587. 6. Oh, yeah, I see. So we're just stopping here. So I will be praised. Que. And as I said, impersonal verb, it will delight me, understood. A shortened form of this perfect active infinitive, explain, we say. To have filled, it's related to the word compleo, so to fill or to man a ship. I guess it's got that, it's got that pleo as part of it, but it's just a different compound, expleo rather than compleo, but essentially means the same thing. To have filled my animum with an avenging flame, literally of an avenging flame. So this looks similar to Ulkiskor, but it's all trickis. Has the ul start. Not sure if they're related, but it looks kind of similar. With a of an avenging flame, literally. So you can see it's got third declension genitive singular, first declension genitive singular. They agree. With an avenging flame, literally of an avenging flame. And to have appeased, so another syncopated form of a present perfect active infinitive, to have appeased the ashes, kinis kineris, the ashes maiorum, of my understood people. So whenever you have sui, it's his own people, mei, my own people, my own country folk. And therefore when you have maiorum, of my people, maios, my people, object, suos, his people, object. Okay, so that takes us to just past the halfway mark of the translation. So just got half more to do in the next few weeks. So it'll generally be one each per week, hopefully, so over the next 3 weeks or so.